Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the next episode for The Penguin. This is episode 5. This is the recent one I've seen, and I think this one overall had a lot going on, but of that a lot going on, substance, there was a lot of it could be summarized. So there really isn't a lot of points to bring up for this video, unfortunately, although there was a lot happening. So I'm going to try to break it down and explain it best I can, because there was a lot to absorb with this one, but there were essentially 3 main stories going on in this one. So as by now, the Maronis know that Penguin is trying to put them against each other, between the Maronis and the Falcones, especially with most of the Falcones being dead. Maronis really want to make their move. So Penguin in this episode sort of starts off capturing one of their own, taking him prisoner, and he's essentially prepared to threat the Maronis. Penguin is very much in charge of this episode. He knows very well of what's going on and how to manipulate the families, and we do see some pushback in this episode, but Penguin is still ultimately in control, even with the minor setbacks he has. So, of course, he's freaking out. He's taking one of the Maronis hostage. So, Victor, his goal in this episode is to go get his mother, go get Penguin's mother, and take her to safety, wherever that is. He doesn't care. He's trusting Victor with this. And this is essentially Victor's most personal and most important task yet. Penguin and Victor Aguilar are now essentially cementing their relationship as business partners, not only relying on each other for the business, but trusting each other at this point. And that's what he's doing. He's trusting Victor with his mother. And so he's prepared to make a trade with the Maronis, because the Maronis have those mushrooms, this new drug that's supposed to revolutionize the drug trade. And so Penguin's prepared to trade the Maroni he has hostage for the mushrooms. So they prepare a meetup, and they have this meetup. And of course, both parties are prepared to betray the other. And so the Maroni, Salvatore Maroni's wife, she's there to pick up, I believe it was her son. And so for this episode, at this point in the scene, Penguin is sort of bringing this Maroni out, but we can sort of see that Salvatore's wife has a trick up her sleeve. So right as he lets Maroni go, he has these liquid dripping from him, and we don't know what. It looks like he's either doused him with water or something. But as it turns out, it was gas. And he actually lights the bottom, and it lights this Maroni on fire and Salvatore's wife. So now the Maroni family is essentially dead except for Salvatore, which is ironic because Sofia Falcone finished off the rest of her family. And so in this scene, the Maronis fight back, or their guards are shooting at Penguin and his guards, and the rain is, this mist comes down in this warehouse where their meeting place was, and it's damaging the mushrooms, as you can tell. But Penguin still gets in the car, drives away, and the Maronis are essentially finished, except for Salvatore Maroni. And so Salvatore Maroni was able to actually bust out of prison because of Penguin's failed attempt to have him murdered in prison. And so we have one Maroni left. We have one Falcone left. Well, there are 2 Falcones, but the little girl isn't going to be controlling the crime of Gotham. So for the sake of the show, there is essentially one Maroni, one Falcone, and then there's Penguin. So it really is a free-for-all between these 3 focal characters. And so this is where the story almost drags a little bit. Victor takes Penguin's mother to Crown Point, and this is sort of where the city was hit the worst from the Riddler's attacks, as we saw in the movie. And so there's this bully that he remembers that he once, he's trying to sneak around, so this bully doesn't recognize him. He thinks he does, but we don't see anything come of that story yet. So I'm sure that will play into something, into either the next episode or one of the next 2 after. So as he gets his mother to safety, Penguin eventually, after driving away with the mushrooms, realizing they only have 2 barrels of it, so most of it was damaged, but he still is determined to make it work. as he goes to meet his mother. This is where the story also, I would say, not, it doesn't drag, but it becomes slowed because he's looking at the box of things of, you know, his mother's. He's seeing things from his brother, from his brothers. He's seeing little mementos. He's going down memory lane basically, and we see that his mother doesn't have a very high opinion of him at all at this point in time because there's no electricity. They're hiding. She thinks she's supposed to be in some luxurious mansion by now, and that's just not the case. So Penguin has a sort of he's starting to get sort of this antsy relationship with his mother because she's growing very, very impatient. She's waiting for him to be at the top, but it's taken a while, and so he and Victor sort of go looking around in the city in Crown Point now because Penguin remembers a place where he and his brothers would go down these tunnels, and in this place they find it's the most suitable spot for them to grow new mushrooms. So they have sort of this new base of operations, if you will. And this is what I would say concludes essentially 2/3 of the episode. The final story is the Maronis obviously were going after the Falcones. So Sophia Falcone finds Salvatore Maroni's hiding spot in this cabin, finishes off his guards, and she makes a proposal to him. She suggests that Penguin wants the two of them to fight it out and kill one another, so Penguin only has to deal with one of them. But Sophia Falcone wants Salvatore Maroni to team up with her. She said that what the Falcones had against the Maronis had nothing to do with her. She's also, at this point, changed her name, so there's a whole Gigante, I believe is what it is. So she taking on a new name, she's abandoning the Falcone name, and she's ready to start brand new with Salvatore Maroni. So now we have, for the first time in the show, an alliance, because he can't really say Penguin's had an alliance with anyone, given his constant betrayal. So for the first time, there is an alliance between the Falcones and Maronis, even though she's not a Falcone anymore. It gets a little confusing, but as they're teamed up now, this is sort of the closer for the episode, essentially. Penguin gets the final shot of the episode, but this is the final other story. And so going into the next one, I am looking forward to seeing this power struggle come to a head. I'm excited to see how it's going to turn out. I've enjoyed the show so far. I think they got a phenomenal cast. These are well-written episodes. These are entertaining episodes. So overall, there's no complaints for me so far. So I like the show. If you're watching it, let me know in the comments what you think so far. I want to hear your thoughts. I'm not hearing a lot of people talk about this, which is strange given how popular the Batman franchise is. So let me know what you think of this series. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I will see you next time in our next video.